Breaking news, the devastating Japanese radiation leak and what you need to do to protect yourself. This is a photo of the Fukushima nuclear reactor in Japan just moments after a second explosion happened today. A buildup of hydrogen ignites into a fireball. An enormous radioactive cloud appears, and experts are debating whether this cloud of radioactive material is going to reach the United States by way of traveling over the Pacific Ocean and hitting the west coast of the United States towards California. Japan's nightmare gets even worse as all three damaged nuclear reactors now in meltdown at Tsunami hit power station. 180,000 people have been evacuated amid meltdown fears. This is an extreme tragedy what is taking place here of epic proportions, and I'm going to show you how you can protect yourself the best you possibly can. The sad cold fact is that if you're right near it, you're probably not going to survive it. If you're right near the extreme dosage of radiation, that'll kill you right away. But the main ways to protect yourself from radiation is, number one, time, distance, and shielding. With time, the radiation diminishes with time. Weeks, days, weeks, months, years. But you might not have that time. You have distance. If you know radiation is coming in your direction, you need to get yourself as far away as possible. If you're not able to get away with distance, you must shield yourself. That's why back in the 50s and 60s they had the bomb shelters and where to go in town to protect yourself. And of course, you know, the duck and cover tapes we all watched in school back in the old days. But the way to do it is you have to have mass around you. Mass, objects, materials, steel, lead, wood, then dirt. One of the great places to shield yourself is in a cellar. Now you have the dirt surrounding yourself. You get in a cellar in an area, enclosed area. You sealed up nice with some wood and some metal and things. Every type of object of mass diminishes and absorb some of the radiation. It's like having an x-ray. You go to your doctor, they shoot a big x-ray right through your chest. Well, you're supposed to be covered up. Other parts of your body are supposed to be covered up so that they don't get the radiation. And of course, they don't want you to have clothing on or too much clothing on, because any type of layer of mass will prevent some of the radiation from getting through. And really, there's no safe radiation out there, so you've got to protect yourself. But any type of structure that you can surround yourself with, the better. This is from the EPA, the Environmental Protection Government Agency, and it tells how much exposure radiation, what symptoms it causes. Anything from a big dose, which can cause death in a matter of hours to days, and of course, even a small dose will change your blood chemistry. It'll change your bone marrow and affect your bone marrow and change your blood chemistry and create nausea and then, of course, fatigue, vomiting, hair loss, diarrhea, hemorrhaging, possible death. That's with 400 REMs. And 1,000 REMs gives destruction of intestinal lining, internal bleeding, death, central nervous system, loss of consciousness. And if you get a big dose, you die within, like I said, hours or days. It's not a good kind of a death, this radiation poisoning. And it's something for you to remember too when you're having x-rays done at the doctor. Radiation is cumulative. And when you go to the airport and they want to do radiation on you, or you go through the courthouse and they want to check you for whatever they're checking for, you're getting a dose of radiation too, and it's all cumulative. So that's something to remember too. Many people with radiation poisoning die of thyroid cancer. And one of the best ways to protect your thyroid is with potassium iodide. Basically how it works is you want to fill your thyroid up with potassium iodide rather than the radioactive iodine which the radiation is giving off. So if your thyroid is filled up with a potassium iodide, it will not take in the radioactive iodine. Now that, of course, is if it's small doses of radiation. If you got the huge blast of radiation, you're probably not going to survive that. It doesn't matter what you're taking. This is from the Centers for Disease Control, and it tells all about potassium iodide and how much dosage that I'm going to give all these websites to you so that you're better prepared and you can study yourself. But this is the CDC's website on potassium iodide, what it can do, how it works, and the doses you should take. And speaking of doses, the dosage is about 130 milligrams right here. The FDA has approved two different forms of KI. That's a symbol for potassium iodide, tablets and liquid, that people can take by mouth after a nuclear radiation emergency. Tablets come in two strengths, 130 milligrams and 65 milligrams. The tablets are scored so that they be cut in half. But the dosage each day is 130 milligrams for an adult. Those are the ways to protect yourselves from radiation: time, distance, and shielding from the radioactive fallout. Our hope and prayers go out to Japan at this time, and please stay safe.